that comment section is not looking good. All right, if you are a Persona 5, let's look at this, right? I'll just glance through a little bit. Shun Kano again, like you just so yeah, a lot of people are not happy. I don't see a single positive comment actually. I see a lot of people are very upset. Anyways, yeah. So let's catch up, right? So there's two drama right now for Persona 5 The Phantom X. Two separate drama. So one that happened a couple of days ago. I didn't really look into it too much. So this one is going to be, they are no longer releasing characters onto standard banners like they do in the other region. They're talking about the CN region. So we have seen this before in other games, right? Generally, different server, different management ways. So it can be a little bit annoying that one server that you see get better treatment and then global gets a little bit of a different treatment, right? I understand the feeling, discrimination, racism, whatever this is, okay? So, but at the end of the day, if you don't follow the news, you probably don't care about it that much, but some people that do follow, they try to plan accordingly. There are some hardcore players that they do hardcore planning according to the CN server. You can't deny that players like that do exist, right? So during today's live stream showing off the new characters coming in Persona 5 X, it was announced that the character Minami Miyashita will not be moving to the standard banner right away. It may come later down the line. The key word here is may, but this type of thing is abnormal for the game. Here's a list of all the characters released so far in the non-global versions. As you may notice, there are characters with the tag limited and non-limited. The non-limited characters are immediately added to the standard pools the moment their first launch banners end. So it's going to be a little bit, I guess, confusing, I guess, for some people, right? One user claims that she will go to standard, but in a later patch, which still doesn't change the fact that it's not the same as in other servers who get it instantly when a banner ends. Now, this is probably going to do two things. Number one, is going to increase the FOMO. FOMO, because you know that the character, you are going to be uncertain, right? I think like a lot of gacha players don't like uncertainty because it makes it a little bit like, it makes you spend more money. I do think that that's why companies try to be vague or try to be like, oh, we may add it later down the line in a few patches later. So it's like giving, when you leave all of this vagueness, it makes it harder for you as a player to plan things. So it definitely does affect you to spend more, I guess, or encourage you to spend more than you should. And I think that's probably why they keep it this way, right? Now again, Persona 5, you know, I don't have anything against the game. I think it's a very fun game, right? It's a nice game for sure, pretty high quality, but that's just what it is, right? That's how you kill a gacha in less than just a year. JP players were already suspecting that they release global or JP servers now, of all times, is because the game flopped and died so hard in China that the game doesn't even show up in their top 1,000 daily sales ranking, and they're just trying to make a quick buck and recoup some cost before shutting down. Ooh, my goodness. Okay. Now again, this is not a doom post. This is actually true. Alright, now in case you guys are wondering, how much is Persona making right now, right? Because Persona in China is the CN server or the Taiwan, is it Taiwan or one of it, right? I can't remember, is it Taiwan or CN specifically? That's the original one. And if I were to bring up here, in case you guys forgot that we did check out the revenue, right? Let me find Persona, right? Persona is somewhere. Persona is a little bit higher because it came down with global recently, right? Persona is somewhere. I might have missed it. Okay, here. Persona 5 The Phantom X. So notice this, the most recent month it made 4 million, right? But before that, they make 1 million, okay? So you need to look into this. You gotta look at the chart right here, right? The CN server, right? They have a CN server. It's only making 100,000. It's making 100k. Now, in CN, 100,000 is really bad. Like it's really bad, right? You don't have to make like 10 million, but 100k is like, for context, it's probably like, it's like top 200 games maybe, right? I think, right? So it is going to be how it is. So now it could be just because CN players don't like this game, right? Maybe CN players don't feel they don't feel the connection to Persona IP, maybe, right? It's not really famous right there. JP, KR is going to, yeah, KR is not doing that. And then there's one more, this one is the earlier one, which is Hong Kong, Taiwan. This one is like earning 40,000, right? It is quite bad, yeah, it is quite bad. Now, there could be a chance that this game will do better in global and in JP, right? And in global and JP, right? So we have seen games that have this pattern before, right? There's games that actually, they don't do well in China, they actually do well in other regions. For example, Girls Frontline 2. Girls Frontline 2. Okay, so we check at this. So Girls Frontline 2, this is China, right? 200k, 350k. But global is earning 1 million, right? Global is earning 1 million, and then of course, 400k on Android right here. So global is doing better than China in the for Girls Frontline 2, right? There are going to be some exceptions, right? But it's just what it is. But you know, like that's going to be, I think Girls Frontline 2 is one of the few exceptions that I know, right? Most of the game that is not doing well in China, they are also not doing well in global, usually, right? But you have to treat the server right? You have to try your best to make sure that the game is going according to how it is. Now, right now you can see top 1000 daily sales ranking. They're trying to make some quick buck and recoup. This is, of course, could be true, could not be true. It's hard to say. Crappy TL, the horrible mobile user interface. The way they tried very hard to stop rerollers. The way they gave pennies out at launch. You just know their minds were never in it for the long run. The game is only doing decent so far in global, and once that honeymoon period ends, it's going to be ugly. You know, it's hard to say for sure, right? It's hard to say if a game will be better or will be worse, but ideally, most players, they can see the pattern, and you know, some people, they would just, okay, I'm just going to move on before it gets worse, right? Because that's just how it is, especially for, again, I've talked about this multiple times before, right? There's so many competition right now, right? You open your eyes, there's Uma Musume, there's, you know, Silver and Blood, there's Lost Sword that came out recently. There'll be more games coming out as well. So live service games, they compete amongst each other. So when you do stuff like this, I think it's hard to earn back the trust. I think it's better to not do things like this. The moment you do things like this, it's really difficult to usually try to like convince players to come back, right? Generally. It flopped that hard in China. I thought it was doing well. Yeah, it didn't do so well. That's just how it is. I'm also quite surprised actually. Dorito drama. Separate. Why is it such a common thing for gacha games to rip off the global servers? I don't get it. It must be a change in management or greedier people in charge of the global servers. I think the reason why is because they assume most people wouldn't know. I think a lot of the people that manage these games, they just make the assumption that, oh, these players are stupid. There's no way they know, right? But I think a lot of these old people, right? Like most of the CEO of these companies, they are like probably older, right? They are probably in the 50s to 60s, right? Usually, you never see young CEOs, especially when it comes to all of this, right? I think they just have the older mentality, or they underestimate the power of the internet. They underestimate how much players know. Information gets out there, right? And a lot of people see this kind of stuff, right? You look at Twitter, right? So this is the latest. Let's see. Is this the latest one? July 11. Okay, let me find one of the latest one. July 10th. So let's see, what are people saying right here, right? Why do we have less rewards? Why do we have less rewards than every other version? Add a dub. Did C players get the update? Why was chapter 2 not available? How can I pass this? Okay, he's asking, we get less rewards than other regions. Care to explain why we have less rewards? Uh-oh. See, players are not dumb, right? They literally just look at other regions. Okay, why JP and KR or whatever get more? I get that they're trying to speed up content, but it does not mean removing things that they were there before. Okay? Care to explain why the English release is getting less rewards than China? Give us at the very least, okay? You definitely added more stuff. Not a single person here, not a single comment here is positive. We see you keep cutting the rewards. Not a good look. players are not stupid, right? Don't never treat your players like a stupid person, right? Because most people can see it, and information gets out very fast. Very, very fast. Nowadays, this is 2025, right? You might get away with this in 2016. Right, 2016, maybe there's a lot of people that never played the game. Now, to be fair, you could argue that these are people that are active on Twitter, people that are active on Reddit. Sure, there are people that may not follow the news, right? There are people that out there that may actually just still play the game and enjoy the game. But like to look at this and see and think that this is okay, you can see like the amount of negative comments, right? If the game continues to be stingy, EOS notice for global. More bundles to buy but less com. You guys ever heard of Jujutsu Kaisen? Jujutsu Kaisen mentioned. Me when I want to speedrun my EOS. You all should check your Steam user reviews. Stop being stingy. This is the only positive comment I see. This is the only literal Menteo. He's the only positive guy. Finally I got my Joker. Oh my, I'm so happy. Maybe he just done rerolling. He's the only, everyone else is complaining. He's the only positive guy here. Alright? So that's what it is, right? That's what it is. Again, let's look at the different posts, right? Now this one is a different post about the idol showcase. They are showcasing a new character, is it? Okay. Like usually when you look at a new character, okay, this is the next character. Alright? Or next costume or whatever, right? Most people are hype, right? Most people are wholesome. Look at that. Wow. Right, it should be, it looks cool. It looks cool. Let's see how many people talk about the character. Alright, how many people here are talking about the character? It's tone deaf. Fix global. Are we just ignoring the community? Plan to add English dub? Late never again? This is a cool character. Okay, one person talk about the cool character. Maybe you could try to make global people happy. I'll be more inclined to pull for her when we had 100% guarantee banner. So he lists down everything from Reddit, put an essay screenshot. Essay screenshot. Oh my goodness. Fix global. Fix global. Skip. She's a cute huge. Okay, there's 2%. 2 positive so far. Alright. Fix global. Rushing out more characters. You better be kidding me. Why are we getting characters? Fix the game. How about addressing the concerns? Stop being greedy. Again, right? Again. You can see all of this. Yeah, this is by the way, this is a 2-day-old drama, right? There's one more new drama. So this is the old one, right? They already they are not fixing this. It seems like they're not fixing this. I don't know. Are they fixing this? Are they not fixing this? I have no idea. Following the standard banner controversy with a new character Marion, they remove her free Cognite Eidolon constellations. They removed the dupes from the global in-game awards that the Chinese server had. Ooh. So they are removing the rewards. Damn. As you probably saw, there have been some controversy for Persona 5 as the new character Marion, who was added to the standard banner after her limited banner in the Chinese server over a year ago, announced to not be coming to the standard banner. Alright? This has a lot of people upset. Now things have taken a step further. In the Chinese server, there was a planned mission list which for one of the missions rewarded you with a free standard Cognite of your choice, like a dupe character of your choice, which would be the equivalent of a character dupe. This included Marion as she was a standard character in the Chinese server. Additionally, Marion is one of the best healers in the game, so her Cognites are very valuable. Meta character, okay? So especially her first one reduces the enemy's defense. Okay, it makes her a debuffer as well. Okay, this plan has now come to the global version. However, Marion is missing from the prize pool selection, presumably as she is not standard yet in global. This is a reward that the Chinese server had that has now been inexplicably taken away from global and Japanese audience. If you look at Steam, you can see that it is being review bomb, as many people are upset at these changes. Hopefully we get the reward reinstated, but unfortunately SEGA are making a lot of bad decisions lately, so we'll have to wait and see. Review bomb. Now again, I am aware that there's a different publisher, right? This is the global version. I don't know how's the C one. C server, I have no idea, right? Is C server following the global, right? Like different server, different management ways, it's hard for me to keep up. Let's have a look at Steam. Again, with all of these drama, right? I'm sure there are people that care. There are people that don't care. But how's the review looking right now, right? Let me see. The review for Persona 5 Phantom X. It does seem like it is not looking good. It does seem like it's not looking good right now, right? Discussions. Okay, so let's have a look. I can't check, unfortunately, because I am not in the region. If I go to the review, it will not display for me because I'm not in the region, right? But I can check on discussions. Western players are getting treated like trash compared to the original version. Okay. So this guy has played 147 hours. That's a lot. 147 hours is quite a lot, right? He didn't like it. Do you think developers... I hope it won't die. I enjoyed the game, I hope it won't die. About 80% of the ratings from today are negative. Okay, total rating went down to 68%. It will be very interesting to see in the next few days how this continues and if how SEGA will react to this. Damn. Yeah, people are review bombing it, right? So for now it's 68% is, I guess, still okay. 68% is, you know, is halfway there, halfway. Refuse to open for Steam Deck. Okay, I have no idea what the other ones are, but that's just going to be how it is, right? Right now it seems like wait, why is it like that? It seems like it's not going to be looking good for them. They gotta fix it soon, man. But I don't think they can fix it soon because you know why? Weekend is coming soon. Nobody works on weekends, right? Unless they have a last minute, like, you know, some people that can try to gauge a different or try to like help out a little bit. But right now it seems like if I were just to scroll down a little bit more, right? Let's scroll down a little bit more. Not recommended, okay. Not recommended. SEGA is killing the game by making it less free to play. Okay. That's a little bit unfortunate. The boss is too hard. Not recommended. Just get Persona 5 on sale. Recommended. It's a good game, but please make an option to toggle UI. Okay, this guy likes it. Alright. That's fine. That's fine. What's this? Why? We do know that people are gonna keep this game alive regardless of what people say on Steam reviews, right? I'm not saying this out of malice. It's the practices SEGA are doing compared to CN version, but the people say EOS incoming are being over dramatic. Even JP players are pissed. Don't know, don't care. If it dies, good. The world will be a better place. Whoa. Haters. Why do you have 77 hours in this game? Damn. The haters have came in, right? JP players will keep it alive. Persona 5 is pretty famous in what's this? Plan 3 has no Minami nurse dupe like China. I like the game. Why is Global and Japan getting treated like garbage? Huh. When are we getting English voice for the game? Okay. So almost every you know, written review that I see or discussion seems to be pointing towards, like, you know, their dissatisfaction with the game. That's how it is, I guess. Yeah, that's how it is. The positive one looks like a bot. It's hard to say, right? It could be just like some ignorant, you know, ignorant player that, you know, might actually like it, right? English VA, I don't know. Does Persona has English VA? The Persona 5. Does it have English VA? I think it does, right? But here's how you know. Here's how you know if a game is usually something that is more cash grabby, right? There's no reason for them to do English VA if they are going to cash grab. Because think of it from a perspective of you are the developer. You're trying to cash grab. So what is cash grab? You're trying to earn as much money as possible and then shut down the game, right? Why would you do English VA? Why? Why put effort there? You're trying to make as much money as you can. And then EOS. Now, I'm not saying I'm not saying that this is what they are doing for Persona 5X, right? But I'm saying that if I were to do a cash grab, I wouldn't spend more money on VA. I would just use what's existing, right? That's how it is.